Whoa, ho! And I bid you all a humble welcome to my channel for my new graphic novel entitled ISYS OMEGA. The book is available on both my websites, tyrfreeman.com, which is for desktop and laptop PCs only, and tyrmobile.com for cell phones only. I'm using YouTube to promote my own website and my book this round. So here I'll be creating short videos that give an in-depth view of the graphic novel itself, the themes, the creative process, etc. I'm gonna go as deep as I can, because maybe it'll help others bring their characters to the comic or motion picture medium. In this video, I want to talk about the cure versus the disease. The word agenda has gotten a bad rap for some years now. The truth is that everyone has an agenda, or several of them. It depends on the moment. As a matter of fact, one of my agendas with ISYS OMEGA is for the reader to consider heavily the cure versus the disease. The panel right here with the people protesting, as well as this other panel that shows the fear of the onlookers as the world changes around them. Cure versus disease. As I said in the book's intro, this book was written years before the events of 2020. This was not about COVID-19. But I knew another pandemic was inevitable because I lived through several in my 48 years. HIV being the one that stoked the most fear I've ever seen. Did you know that at one point, HIV antiviral drugs were tested on foster children? There were a few hundred, 500 or so in New York alone, most likely more. The paper called The Village Voice ran an article that hurt me like hell. These children had HIV. They were born to drug-addicted parents, and worse, those parents abandoned them. The article was in 2005. By that point, the states and pharma companies have been doing this to foster children for 10 years or more. Quote, the city acted in the best welfare of the children, end quote. These children suffered from side effects like large growths on their bodies, buffalo humps, they called them, and other severe side effects. And years later, an independent study found that none of the children died from the antiviral drugs. However, the independent study also had no access to the children's medical records. Let me repeat that. An independent study found that none of the children died from the antiviral drugs. However, the independent study also had no access to the children's medical records. Make that make sense. At my heart, I'm a caring person. I'm a writer, and I'm a journalist, but I just happen to write stories. Journalists have a passion for the truth. We have to know in order to inform the masses. I've read reports of gay people beaten and killed due to having HIV, sometimes by their own family members. HIV hit home for me as I lost my cousin to it. HIV is a pandemic. Still, I would be willing to believe that every family has had a member or knows someone with HIV at this point. Easy. In my view, COVID-19 has got nothing on that insidious and terrible disease. The T7V in the story was my homage to HIV and its hysteria, while the nanite cell 8 was my warning that merging with technology as a biological organism has potentially dire consequences. Nowadays, God, is so crazy to see. Now people with HIV have antivirals. Now drugs can have your viral load so low you're undetectable, which frankly I'm not comfortable with, since you want to know the actual status of your partner. But those little children of years prior, they are a large part of the reason you have the life-saving drugs today. Cure versus disease. And so if I crafted this story correctly, the reader will notice that it's not so much about the disease that Ruth is afflicted with. It's about the cured world that she finds herself in. Meanwhile, in the real world where we live at, karma comes way quicker nowadays. So I think it will take about a decade more or less for us to truly see what the events of 2020 did to us as human beings. Vaxxed or unvaxxed, cured or not. I said right there in the book, what price will you pay for life? Whatever happens in the future, we are damn sure in this together, just like the propaganda said. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Press the like button or press the dislike button to relieve stress. Questions or comments, put them below and I'll answer them. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as I always ask, please use less to no social media and instead get out and interact with the outside world and its people. Take walks, Read actual books. Just one book can change your entire life. Live, people. Not virtually, but actually, before it's too late. God bless and take care.